Facebook rebrand, new MacBooks, Pixel 6. Hi, I'm Gatzis and you are watching Design News. So let's go! Canva has updated the logo. I doubt you'll notice any change to the shape of the text. These are very subtle changes to the typography. And yes, now they have a beautiful gradient. Overall, Canva has given a lot of people the ability to create content that does not make your eyes bleed, and that's a good thing. But at the same time, they get a lot of rant and hate and cheesy jokes from designers. It's funny, it's for the same reason. Anybody can create visually appealing results without any design knowledge or Photoshop knowledge or any other graphic software. Yup, the results are stock, template, not unique, and so on. But what is unique? If you look at Dribbble or Behance, you'll see that 99% of the work looks the same and follows the same trends. And that's the crux of the matter, that some see the Canva service as a replacement for their service. Just wait few years until AI-powered tools will be able to create hundreds, if not millions of custom mockups, and people will get the result instantly. So, dear designers, you need to be ready to offer the market more than just your Photoshop skills, commodity that is no longer valuable or unique. In the light of this revolution, I encourage you to check my course Salva Design. In 2016, Apple announced the Touch Bar. And now it's being removed and the old buttons are back. And funny thing, it's being announced as a super duper improvement.
The physical keys replaced the touch bar, bringing back the familiar tactile feel of mechanical keys that pro users love.
Question: why did you remove it in the first place? Same question would be applied to why did you remove all the ports and added only 4 USB-C ports? And now they say they're bringing all those ports back.
So I'm excited to share that we're adding ports to the new MacBook Pro.
Yeah, that's right. Like, it was really that cool, to buy those extra port switches and some transistors just to use the MacBook with external devices. Just buy new Mac to get the same thing that you had 10 years ago. Euro 2024 logo has been unveiled. It is one of the biggest sporting events in the world. And it's almost a tradition to design super ugly logos for this event. Well, at first it was a little different. They had a really cool logo, then something broke, and wherever you hate it or not, that became a tradition. Each new championship competes with predecessors to create a less appealing logo. After all the scandals, I was curious to see what Facebook would do next. My guess was rebranding. So there are rumors Facebook will change its name, but for different reasons, to emphasize its shift to create a metaverse. And there's rumors and there's real action. So Facebook unveiled its new brand identity. The work was done by Facebook's own creative agency, Creative X. The idea that Facebook is the shared canvas of humanity, a place where people can come together and create unlimited possibilities. Okay, I don't want to sound cheesy. That's a good idea. I always like to explore the brand books of international companies. It's always a tricky thing being neutral and cross-cultural and trying to appeal to everyone. In the case of Facebook, and in time of allegation and other scandals, the task is even more difficult. Have they done a good job? Well, I would say yes, they did really great job. Facebook is first and foremost a technology company that makes tools for people. So this visual coldness is probably more honest than trying to be artificially too friendly or too funny. Facebook makes communication tools, and it's up to people how they use them. There are 100 things that make works of art valuable. One of them is the author who created it. Muhammad Ali's work Sting Like a Bee sold for more than $400,000. And this artwork looks like it was made by a 2-year-old child. But that's not the point. The price makes perfect sense to me. Let me explain that. A while back, the Churchill painting owned by Angelina Jolie sold for over £8 million. There's no reason why another amateur painter and century icon could not have done the same. And Ali is probably the best candidate for that. Let us face it, this is not one of the billion NFT art portraits of monkeys. Ali is legend, and the price will definitely go up. And it's really interesting to read these angry comments about the pointlessness of this price. I think these angry people would be shocked if someone told them that sometimes it's not even the person who made the art, but the person who owns it that makes it valuable. In the art world, the value of a piece of art can be traced back to its provenance. In other words, who owned the painting in the past? White Center, for example, was owned by the Rockefeller's family, and that fact caused the price to skyrocket from $10,000 to whopping $72 million. Hotjar had an image problem. Their iconic flame looked a little too much like Tinder's, so they changed the flame to a heat symbol. Yeah, that curve symbolizes the heat. The main brief for the logo update was that it had to be legible and recognizable at size of 16 by 16 pixels. If you have never used Hotjar before, I highly recommend giving it a try. It's a great tool to see how users are using your website or app, and I have tried several tools. This one seems to be the best. Russia's largest social media company is changing its name to Vkontakte. What's funny is that the logo creators have been complaining about how bad this logo is and how they are ashamed to have created such a monster. Well, the story goes like this. Studio Art Lebedev was designing a logo for Vkontakte, and after gazillion and one mock-up and revisions, Mr. Durov did the job himself, not painted the whole logo or designed it. He just made some mock-ups and said, just improve that. And they just improved it. And this just proved that even famous designers face the same problems when clients badmouth their designer and react with, look what my nephew made, or look what I did, can you improve a bit that? Google is dismissing material design for iOS devices. It will use Apple UI Kit. Google explained this with a bunch of blah 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 and blah, and that UI Kit now seems to be just as good as material. But the main reason might be that using Google's iOS apps provides a disruptive and inconsistent experience with the rest of iOS apps. And people are switching to other apps like native, Apple Maps or Mail clients. Uniformity and consistency win one more time. People are lazy. If they learn one interface, do not force them to learn every time they download some new app. Google has released the Pixel 6. It's faster, it looks good, and it has a lot of great things. But man, the coolest thing is Google Photography. You can literally do a lot of things with it that are only possible in Photoshop. And you can do that, with your phone instantly, live. Here are the coolest features of Pixel 6. Face the blur. Basically, this deblurs the face. Motion mode creates cool motion blur effects without having to set long exposure time. And Magic Eraser deletes unwanted material.
I created a free mini course, Find Your Niche, without sacrificing your dreams. And it's free. Free. And I promise you, it will serve its purpose. Do not miss out on this opportunity. The link is in the description.